Before we begin, a few important words. This recording is intended for relaxation, personal development, and general well-being. It is not therapy, it is not medical treatment, and it is not a substitute for professional care from a licensed healthcare provider. No specific results are promised or guaranteed. Every person's experience is unique, and what you take from this session is entirely your own. If you are dealing with a medical condition, a mental health concern, or are currently receiving treatment of any kind, please continue to work with your healthcare provider. This recording is meant to complement your well-being, never to replace professional guidance. Hypnosis recordings, while effective for many people, are not a replacement for working one-on-one with a trained and highly skilled clinical hypnotherapist. If you are dealing with a specific issue and would like personalized help, I invite you to visit phobiafree.life and schedule a free consultation with a certified clinical hypnotherapist. Before we begin, this recording contains hypnosis. Please do not listen to this while driving, operating machinery, or doing anything that requires your full attention. Find a quiet, comfortable place where you can simply relax, undisturbed, for the duration of this session. If at any time you need to be fully alert, you can simply open your eyes, take a deep breath, and return to full waking awareness immediately. Find yourself in a comfortable position now. And you don't need to do anything in particular, just allow your body to settle the way it naturally wants to when given permission to simply be still. You might notice the weight of your body against whatever is supporting you right now. And isn't it interesting how you never really noticed that support before, and yet it was always there? Your eyes can remain open, or they may find their own way to close, and some people find their eyes closing almost before they expect them to, and that's perfectly fine, because your unconscious mind always knows exactly what it needs. With each breath you take, you don't even have to try to relax, because relaxation isn't something you do, it's something you allow, and your body already knows how. Perhaps you notice a gentle heaviness beginning in your shoulders, or maybe it starts somewhere else entirely. It doesn't matter where it begins, only that it spreads slowly, naturally, the way warmth spreads through your hands on a cold day, without any effort at all. And as that comfortable feeling continues to deepen, your mind may begin to drift a little, the way it does in those moments just before sleep, when thoughts become softer, less urgent, more like clouds passing than anything requiring your attention. You don't need to follow every word I say. In fact, your unconscious mind is already doing exactly what it needs to do, and your conscious mind is welcome to rest. With every breath out, just a little more comfortable, a little more settled, a little more yours. And when you're ready, we can go somewhere quite wonderful together. You know, it is a curious thing, the way the mind works. You can be sitting in a chair or lying down somewhere comfortable, and while your body is perfectly still, your mind can be anywhere at all. And I wonder if you have ever noticed how when you are truly absorbed in a story, truly caught up in what is being said, your breathing slows, your muscles soften, and something in you just lets go. That is happening right now. isn't it? Your body is already beginning to relax, even as your mind listens, even as you wonder what comes next. There is a part of you that is already drifting, already settling, already finding that comfortable place somewhere between waking and sleep. And that is perfectly fine, because the part of you that needs to hear what I am about to say, that part is always listening, always ready, always open. So just allow your eyes to close, or leave them open if you prefer. It makes no difference at all, because wherever your eyes are, your mind is already going somewhere very interesting. I want to tell you about a gardener I once heard about. This gardener had a plot of land that had been neglected for a few years, not through any fault of their own. Life had simply been busy, and the garden had been left to its own devices. And when the gardener finally returned to it, they found it overgrown, tangled, full of weeds that had taken hold while no one was paying attention. Now, a less experienced person might have looked at that garden and felt overwhelmed, might have thought, this is too far gone, this is too much work, where would I even begin? But this gardener was wise, and the gardener knew something important. The gardener knew that beneath all those weeds, beneath all that overgrowth, the soil was still rich, still fertile, still full of everything needed to grow something beautiful, something nourishing, something alive. And so the gardener did not try to fix everything at once. The gardener simply chose one small corner and began there, clearing just that one small space, turning the soil, planting something good. And as the gardener worked, something interesting happened. The work itself became enjoyable. The feel of the soil, the smell of the earth, the quiet satisfaction of seeing that one small corner become clean and clear and ready. And the next day, the gardener returned and cleared another corner, and the day after that, another. And within a few weeks, the garden had transformed, not through heroic effort, not through punishment or force, but through small, consistent acts of care, one corner at a time. Allow yourself to relax more deeply now as you consider that story and notice what it means to you. There is something I find fascinating about rivers. A river always finds its way, always, no matter what obstacles it encounters, no matter how many rocks or fallen trees or unexpected turns it must navigate. The river finds the path of least resistance, the natural course, the way it was always meant to go. And here is what is interesting about that. The river does not struggle, it does not fight, it does not force, it simply flows, and in flowing, it shapes everything around it, slowly, gently, inevitably. Your body is like that river. It has a natural course, a natural state of health and balance that it is always trying to return to, always moving toward. And sometimes, things get in the way, habits that formed without our noticing, patterns that took hold while we were busy with other things, like weeds in a garden, like rocks in a river. But the river always finds its way around the rocks, eventually going deeper now, drifting down, as you find yourself relaxing completely, the way a river finds its natural course, easily, inevitably. I heard a story once about a woman who had struggled with her weight for most of her adult life. She had tried diets, she had tried exercise programs, she had tried willpower, and none of it had lasted. And then one day, she had a conversation with someone who said something that changed everything for her. The person said, What if you stopped trying to lose weight and started trying to understand your body instead? And the woman thought about that for a long time. She began to pay attention, not to calories, not to rules, but to how she felt after she ate different things. She noticed that after eating a meal built around vegetables and lean protein, she felt clear, energized, satisfied for hours. She felt like herself. And she noticed that after eating a meal built around sugar and processed food, she felt foggy, tired, and strangely more hungry than before, as though the food had promised something it could not deliver. And once she noticed that, once she really felt the difference in her own body, something shifted. The healthy food stopped feeling like a sacrifice. It started feeling like a gift she was giving herself. She also noticed something else. She noticed that she had been eating for reasons that had nothing to do with hunger. She ate when she was bored. She ate when she was anxious. She ate when she was tired. She ate when she was lonely. And when she understood that, she found she could pause before eating, just for a moment, just long enough to ask, am I hungry or am I something else? And if she was something else, she found other ways to meet that need. She walked, she breathed, she called a friend, she sat quietly for a few minutes, and the weight slowly, naturally, inevitably began to change. Not because she was fighting her body, but because she had finally stopped fighting it and started listening. Notice how naturally you understand this, how deeply it resonates, as though some part of you has always known this. And now I want to return to our gardener for a moment. Because the gardener's garden is in full bloom now, and as the gardener walks through it, they notice something wonderful. The healthy plants have crowded out the weeds, not through force, but simply by growing, by being nourished, by taking up the space that the weeds used to occupy. And the gardener understands now that this is how change really works. You do not remove the old by fighting it. You replace it by growing something better in its place. And in your own life, in your own body, in your own relationship with food and with yourself, this is exactly what is happening. New patterns are growing. New habits are taking root. New ways of thinking about food and nourishment are quietly, steadily crowding out the old ones. You find yourself naturally choosing foods that nourish you, not because you have to, but because you want to, because you have learned to hear what your body is actually asking for. You discover that you eat slowly and with attention, tasting your food fully, noticing when you are satisfied, and stopping there, comfortably, naturally. You notice that water is what your body craves most of the time, and you drink it easily and often. You find that movement feels good, that your body enjoys being used, enjoys being stretched and strengthened, and you give it that gift regularly. You wake up each morning with a quiet sense of purpose, a gentle motivation that does not shout or demand, but simply guides like a river finding its natural course. And there is one more thing I want to leave with you, something to carry with you long after this session is over. You are not broken. You have never been broken. You are a person with a body that is doing its very best with the information it has been given. And now you are giving it better information. Every healthy choice you make sends a message to every cell in your body, a message that says, I see you, I value you, I am taking care of you, and your body hears that message, and it responds with energy, with vitality, with the slow, steady, inevitable movement toward the health that was always your natural state, like a river finding its course, like a garden coming back to life, like someone who has finally come home. And now, in a few moments, I am going to invite you to return to full awareness, bringing everything you have experienced with you, carrying it gently but firmly into your waking life. These understandings are yours now. They live in the deep, quiet part of you that guides your choices every day, and they will continue to grow stronger, more natural, more automatic with every passing day. Beginning to return now. 1, 2, 3. Awareness gently returning to the room. 4. Taking a slow, deep breath, feeling refreshed and clear. 5. Eyes open, fully awake, fully present, feeling wonderful. Welcome back.